Hi, this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking, and today I want to give you a tour of my newly reorganized office. And it's not a complete reorg, but it's just me relabeling and reusing some of my organizational tools to make it so I have better use of my supplies. So I got kind of overwhelmed. I have to tell you, in the last year and a half, I got pretty overwhelmed by everything with COVID, and I got a cancer diagnosis and went through surgeries and stuff like that. And so I just had large piles of stuff all over the place, and I felt like it was all caving in on me. So I had to take the time to spruce up my office and spruce up my attitude while I was at it, and it really helped a whole lot. So let me just start on the tour, and I'll be back at the end of it. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to step back and just give you a bit of a look at the office as I walk into the door. And so I have a lot of Elfa shelving in here from the Container Store. And the drawers along the back shelf there are those 3-drawer files from Target. And not very expensive, but extremely useful. And this is right off the bat, so this is where my computer is. That's my wallpaper is some of my crazy friends and crazy me. And my printer's in the corner, and you can see the Elfa shelving along here that's holding notebooks and albums with old pictures and some iris boxes. I'll show you those a little bit later, and a lot of stamp storage in our large containers. And over here, right here, I have a folding table. Now, normally that has not been there, but ever since Close to My Heart started doing their Facebook Live events, I would turn the computer, I've turned the computer on, and also the convention for that matter. I've turned the computer on and then worked right there next to my computer, watching all the lovely ladies at Close to My Heart show us how to put together cards and pages and give us so many good techniques and helpful hints. So I needed to have separate workspace, and that's what my folding table is all about. It's not very attractive, but sometimes you just have to go with what works. And so on the back wall here, these are the drawers I was telling you about from Target. And at one point I had those labeled January through February, March, April, May, June, etc. And I used them to put in the workshops your way. So all the supplies would go in there, and then I could just go and pull them out. And that worked for a while, but I got inundated by probably 12 iris boxes filled with pages that I had completed, but I hadn't put pictures on yet, I'm ashamed to say. So I needed a way of organizing all of my scrapbook pages so that I could find them easily. So I could grab a whole bunch of pictures, and then as I was going through saying, oh, like this is a birthday party, this is Christmas, this was Thanksgiving, whatever the event, then I could easily match up pictures to my scrapbook pages. So right at the start here, I've got, winter, spring, summer. So these are all layouts for the winter, spring, summer, Thanksgiving and autumn, Jim and Philip, Christmas. Heaven forbid I should stay in order, because this is how my brain functions. It doesn't function in order. It pops from thing to thing. Okay, so things to do, celebrations, vacations, Jim's plane project and his RV, his motorhome, vintage and heirloom pages, family pages, and then I've got some of the special projects like You Are Enough over here, and I did a whole bunch of pages of those. So what I have here now is all of my tri-blend markers and several of the small organizers that are perfect for shimmer tape, which I truly love. So I have 2 boxes filled with the shimmer tape. And the stickles and liquid pearls fit in here also, but I also have a specific box that I got from the rewards book holding my stickles. And then another M box that holds the washi tape and twine and those kind of things. And then of course I have ribbons down here, and my bunny. This bunny I decoupaged with some older paper. The male bunny needs to get decoupaged. He hasn't been decoupaged. I haven't dressed him in a few years. Okay, and so here I've got, of course, my carousel for inks, and I incorporated the new inks into this. So I made a copy of I didn't redo all of them, I just put in the new ones here. And so I made a copy from the annual catalog of the colors, and I put them there and then put the colors in with them. On the top, here's Wild Berry, which is our color of the year. And then a couple of the colors that didn't fit in, Paprika and Nectarine. And then, of course, I've got my Intense Black, which I use tons. Okay, so up here are the discontinued stamps and re-inkers, stamp pads, ink pads. So instead of getting rid of them right away, because I still have a lot of the cardstock, I'm holding on to them until they get really old. Of course, I wouldn't want to discard them because then somebody would discard me for being really old. So then I've got, coming around the bend, I've got my Cricut Maker, and I've got my dog, Daisy. There's Daisy. Hi, Daisy. See, there's Daisy looking at you. No, I didn't put eyeliner on her eyes. She came that way. So here are all of my cardstock pages that are all labeled, again, with copying the annual color or color thing in the back. And then I just cut them out and put them on the little tags. So I need words and color to give me a heads up of where to look and then what to specifically look for. Down here, it's a little chaotic. These are more of the really old papers that are over here. So, you know, if I can match these with the inks above, then I'm good. Okay, so I've got small containers that have the wood embellishments and gold and bronze embellishments, white, and then down here I've got the colors, whites and clear, and reds, pinks, and purples, and blacks and grays, and blues and greens. So it's very easy for me to find things according to color, and so that's what I do. Okay, over here, I sort of use the same idea a little bit of labeling my stamps. So I have for calendars and autumn stamps and celebration, inspiration, lots of stamps of the month. Now those could be divided into categories also. And then I've got Christmas, holidays other than Christmas, butterflies and flowers, season and nature. And down here I've got what's good for cards. I've got my blocks up there for workshops. And then I've got another box of cards. This one is good for vacations. Stamp of the month, and then we've got stamp sets from 2020 and COVID stamps, and scrapbook story and stamps for scrapbooking. And then down here I've got stamps related to Philip and Jim, and I love my ink blobs, and puns and pals and cute animals and floral statements, and then alphabet, and I do have Picture My Life cards over here in the medium planner. Up here I've got 3 iris boxes. These are the last of my iris boxes. And so the top one is COVID, which my hair is considerably longer than it used to be, so I call it my COVID hair. But because I had a diagnosis of cancer, which was shocking, but fortunately caught extremely early, I am growing my hair now so I can donate it. So that's why my hair is like out of control. And then I've got a single box for the gnomes, which I love those little gnomes, and then another good for cards. And these are all like business books and an old album that I need to go through it and find new homes for those pictures. And I've got a new box with all the slimline stuff. So I just purchased from the new catalog the stamp sets, the thin cuts and slimline stamp sets, and I've got slimline cards in here. So when I want to do slimline, I'm going to put everything in one box. And then here is just the rest of, so and pardon me if I'm moving too fast and I'm jerking around here. I don't mean to make you sick. So I've got tools up here. So, if you need a hot gun with glue sticks, and then I've got various tools from scrapbooking that are older tools that some of them we don't really use anymore, but you never know. And then up here I've got embossing, all of my embossing tools. And so I can just grab that box, and I've got the heater and the tray and embossing powders all right there. So down here I've got, keep my catalog handy, and these are the cards. Now I just did a video yesterday of, this is the new card subscription that just came in. So I made all the cards, so I've got to sort those. And then late yesterday, I got my scrapbooking subscription. So this is all stuff that I've got to do something with. So I'll be doing a walkthrough, a box opening on this today. And then this is going to Cards for Kindness. So, we make so many cards between the the card subscription and the workshops, that there's a lot of cards that I don't use. So they're getting put to really good use here. Now, what I've used prior to this was for all of my old papers. I got these hanging folders from Amazon with the large, these are great. They're over 12 by 12, so they're perfect for hanging your kits. And I organized all of my old papers in there so I'd have access to them. Well, I only went to a few of the papers, the ones that I really liked, like Chelsea Gardens. And the rest of them I didn't really touch. And so I thought, okay, I'm just getting, this is one of the things that overwhelmed me. I've been a consultant since 2008. And so I've had a lot of accumulation. Pardon me. And so I decided this is what allowed me to do the reorganization. So if you walk with me to the hall and you look here from this end down, here, and that big box on the end, That is all going to be a donation to Children's Hospital in Dallas. And they have kids that stay there for procedures for long periods of time. And you know what? Maybe they can they can make some things. I'm giving a lot of the old cardstock away and the old papers and some old discontinued stamp pads, some stamps, lots and lots of embellishments, the complements that go with the paper. That's all going, and hopefully it will get put to use. Now, the last thing, and I don't really like to go into the closet here because you never know what'll pop out. Let me try not to. Dump my lights here. Ooh, you can see too much. Okay, so this is my closet. The iris boxes, my favorites, are holding lots and lots of pocket scrapbooking, page protectors, big flip flaps, the 8x12, 6x12, lots and lots of those. I've got old stamp sets that are the alphabet stamp sets that are the huge stamp sets. I keep my pictures they're organized and ready to put on pages. And my stash of Tombow adhesive and Tombow glues are all right here. And then I've got a stash of clear envelopes and Colonial White. You remember that? I have lots of Colonial White cards. I bought a bunch when they were going to go get discontinued. Lots and lots of white cards. I do make lots of cards. And all of the recent re-inkers are here. So I did make a copy of the pages from the annual book, and I checked off all of the re-inkers that I have. And so there's the new ones are left for me to buy. So I kind of keep track of what I have and what I need. And then I've got a whole box, the medium size of flip flaps here. So they're they're organized into sections. So they're really easy to find. And of course, then I've got bags to go to retreats and crops with. So let me close up here. So this is it. This is my space, and I think it's a little bit more workable now for me. That's what I'm hoping for. But I needed to get out from under the feeling of the papers crashing in on me. And I think that I found a solution for myself. And when it comes to organization, you need to know and work with how your brain works. So if you work according to date, then do things according to date. If you, I work in categories and colors, and so that's what works for me. So whatever way, our brains are all organized in different ways. Mine is organized in piles, and that is not workable. So find your way, and if you watch a bunch of videos, you'll get a bunch of ideas, and maybe some will fit for how you need to organize. Anyway, I hope you liked my little walkthrough, and I'll be working on my scrapbook subscription box real soon. Take care now. Thanks for watching. Bye.